We are living in a great day and time called the information age, a time where humans have embarked upon an overabundance of knowledge that they didn't have access to before. Now, this is a beautiful thing for the mental elevation of the people on this planet, but unfortunately, we have a huge problem here. You see, misinformation is also on the rise, and it is very dangerous and contagious. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. I find too many people give their opinions on too many topics that has already been answered, and in doing so, deter many innocent souls from the truth. With correct information comes responsibility, meaning with it, you are able to respond to your ability. That is, if you are studying. And so, at this particular point in time, the inflow of information is occurring so rapidly that people do not know what to accept. And the primary reason is, most people do not know the difference between knowledge and right knowledge. Knowledge is often compared to light. Artificial light, that is, because it's easier to see it and obtain it. But the problem is, it is not always correct, yet very popular. Artificial light has been replacing natural light, which is right knowledge, by enlightening or blinding you with real illusions, which is half and vague information. Like how money is a made thing, for it's not a natural element. It has no natural energy that it can give or receive. Thus is an example of artificial light. Humans have to give their life energy to a concept called money to accept money as a real aspect to their natural life. When in reality, money is just a permission slip that says, with it, things can get done, and without it, you think nothing can get done. Right knowledge, on the other hand, can be equated to darkness, which is where the true natural light resides, which can control artificial light because all light was born from the darkness. The very place the biblical God resided before he said, "Let there be artificial light," in which he divided to make the day and the night. We know this light was artificial because you cannot divide natural light like the light of the sun. You can, however, divide your house artificial light by simply touching the on and off switch. Darkness, however, can never be turned off and on. Darkness is eternal. It always existed, just as right knowledge always existed. You can, however, shine light in darkness, but because there are still shadows, the darkness still remains. Today, most of the world is governed by artificial light. You often have to find or seek out the right knowledge in the blinding light of ignorance, in the shadows. Because of this reality, most people are really confused right now. And with the advent of social media, the internet is becoming filled with so much liars, scam artists, want-to-be teachers who have no true substance in what they present. Every time you look around, someone has a funnel to attract you by saying exactly what you want to hear. And then if you purchase their program, you soon realize that it was a bunch of material you probably already knew. And more than likely, there's no step-by-step process to get you to your intended goal. Unless, of course, you purchase their more expensive service, their one-on-one crap. They will usually give you a sales pitch like, if you really want to excel and get to that next level in your lifetime, learn from me by paying me to avoid the mistakes that I made. And if you don't, hey, it's your loss. I'm giving you this exclusive course for just $1,997. Its value is really $10,000. And it will only be available for this price for 1 hour. And unfortunately, those who are desperate to succeed usually become the suckers of these scam artists. Another type of scam artist you should look out for is the one who pitch consciousness as a vehicle to control people who may revere them because, like a celebrity, they are in awe of their public persona and delivery of information they may have never heard before, even though most of the time it's wrong knowledge, artificial light. There's a lot of people giving information that does not make any sense, but when you check their views, you'll find that some people are actually listening and supporting them, sadly. I heard a person say that we have melanin because of carbon having 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, implying that we all had it wrong about the number 666. Sounds cool if you're black conscious, but it's wrong. This is not right knowledge. This type of information has to go. This is the type of thing that happens when you don't study the anatomy of skin. Now, melanin is produced from amino acid tyrosine inside pigment cells called melanocytes that are located in the bottom layers of the skin's epidermis. Your pituitary gland secretes what is called melanocyte-stimulating hormones, which secretes skin color in both humans and animals. Like many substances in the body, the chemical makeup of melanin includes a mixture of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, not just carbon-6. The actual molecular formula for melanin is C18, or that's carbon 18, hydrogen 10, nitrogen 2, and oxygen 4, giving melanin a molecular weight or molar mass of 318 grams per mole. As you can see, the only real connection that the sixth element has to melanin is that the allotrope of carbon, which is carbon 18, is a part of the chemical makeup of melanin. That's all. Now, of course, from time to time, these kind of individuals may say something that's true, but you have to remember that a broken clock is right at least twice a day. So, the ultimate question here is, how do you avoid being fooled by these types of people? Well, it all starts with a firm foundation that is based on facts. That means don't accept nothing from anyone who does not intend to prove it. Too often people just listen to others, and not because they're right, but more so because of their popularity level. Do you ever notice when a corporation wants to pitch a product, good or bad, they would simply pay an influential figure to co-sign it? And of course, the people who like and support that figure will eventually support the product as well. It works every time, even in small settings that are religious or organizational. The same thing happens. So, to not be fooled, it is imperative that you are stable emotionally and utilize sound right reasoning and are practical and honest, yet critical and skeptical. This raises your character to not just accept things, but to also question everything. Always remember that it is easier to endure anything if you are in control of the intake, digestion, and dissipation of information you're confronted with. And the only way you can be in control is by studying everything and check out everything you don't fully understand. The motivator that empowers this form of mindset is learning to reason. Once a person learns how to reason, no one can fool them. You must realize that we all have one gift, and that one gift is intellect. And with that intellect, you have the option to question a person until you're satisfied. To question is to quest or seek to know, and it's even worse to not even want to know. There are many people out there, who don't want to know anything. And you know what? That's their right. But this teaching is for those who want to know the truth. The reality is, if you don't know where your life is going, any road will take you there. I cannot stress this enough, but questioning is the key to knowing. If you go to a religious place or any organization and they don't allow you to question or even get offended when you do ask questions, you better get up and leave before they program you by putting their philosophy like computer chips in your mind. It is very easy to be programmed by people who talk fast or even by those who talk slow enough to convince you that they actually know what they're talking about. A rule of thumb to not be fooled is, if you cannot ask questions, then that is a clear indication that you're in the wrong place. They will only play with your mind, and when someone plays with your mind, they're playing with your soul. And when they're playing with your soul, they're interfering with your mental elevation. Your soul is what you're dealing with, and your soul must be satisfied before you settle into any unfamiliar atmosphere. So be clear when you talk, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I need you to know that anyone can drill you with any form of teaching, but it won't be enough to hold you until you are satisfied. There's a point when a person is learning and something clicks inside and says, I might not like everything I hear, but it is the truth. At that point, you are like what the Christians say, born again. When you're finally hit with that divine realization that what is being taught is right and exact, then you will decide for yourself whether or not you want to be a part or not be a part at all. And that decision is completely up to you, and nobody can take that away from you. Allow the divinity in you to hear the truth for yourself. You do have that right. And always remember this: anyone who stands up to teach or preach to you, I don't care if they are an imam, reverend, pastor, leader, motivational speaker, influencer, whatever, question them all. And anybody who wants to get up and teach and won't allow themselves to be questioned, they are afraid of something. It's either they don't really accept what they teach, or they don't study what they're teaching. Because if you really stand for what you teach and you study, you will be able to stand in front of people and be questioned about it. If you teach or preach and you say it's the truth, you have to be able to be challenged. And you cannot get mad at people because they want the right to question you about what you're saying to them. So, ask, that's A-S-K, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall open to you. I'm Kef Ray, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Most saw trapping was called the Matrix. The world civilized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope.